Hello and welcome to one of my many stress-free art sessions. I'm your host BaTo and I will be teaching you how to create art. For this session you can use a tablet to draw or a pencil and paper. I'm using an iPad and a free app called SketchBook to draw and paint in this and future sessions. For this session I wanted to talk about the composition, specifically the golden spiral or the golden ratio, which a lot of people prefer to call it that for some reason. But nevertheless, this is a screen capture of a movie called Once Upon a Time in the West by Sergio Leone. It's a spaghetti western movie that actually uses a lot of these rules. And whether we use the golden ratio or the rule of thirds, the composition must be uniform and it has to take up the whole frame. It is worthy to note that the importance of the golden ratio lies in the composition of the image and the ratio on the screen, and not necessarily about the spiral shape. So just as this is the case with the rule of thirds and the breakup of 9 equal segments in which each segment has some information or their lack of, placing everything in the middle, we talked about this before, is boring, and this is less natural than scattering information so that the viewer can actually have some breathing room and reading the information on the screen quickly and accurately. So again, if you go back to my other session where I talk about the value and color and composition, I talk about rule of thirds more. I'm not going to dwell into it too much here, but instead I'm going to show you how to do it and how to use it properly. So in this shot we see the separation of elements, we see the gun, we see the person sitting waiting for somebody or something to happen. And here you can also see with the rule of thirds how the intersecting points work and how we have 33% of unused space, which you should always have, so it's not too busy, so the viewer has some time to rest. So here I'm gonna start placing things in my composition. I'm gonna place these circles, my points of some sort of elements maybe. I'm gonna actually tie them up to the end, the smallest rectangle or the smallest square. So let's see what this is gonna look like. I'm just gonna draw a person, and maybe the theme is gonna be a western theme, so a western movie theme with a cowboy in the not center but just kind of offset. And I'm gonna make it interesting that way as well, because it's not very symmetrical, but it follows that curve, it follows that spiral. And I'm gonna add another person, another head in the shot, maybe a hand of some sort, just to break up the roundiness, so to say. And the end result is very satisfying, because you would have never thought of the composition in this manner, I think. But if you start using this method just for the exercise, if nothing else, your composition will improve drastically. And this shot works with the rule of thirds. As you can see, the left hand is on the intersecting point, and I have more than 33% of empty space, which is needed for the proper rule of thirds composition. That's it. Thank you.